Let me guess, you have 40 versions of your project. None of them work, your gameplay loop is just vibes, and you're still wondering why everything breaks when you add one feature. And this is the part where you should create a game design document. And if that made you yawn, you're probably part of the problem. A game design document is not a relic from the 2000s. It's not a crusty PDF some studio intern wrote and forgot. It's the center of your game's development. And if you still think that's optional, cool. Keep redoing your combat system every 2 months because you had a better idea in the shower. Every game that is shipped, that worked, that didn't eat its own tail halfway through development started with a plan. And that plan lives in your game design document. It's not glamorous, but it's necessary. It's how you get from this would be cool to people are actually playing this and it doesn't crash on launch. And even though it sounds boring, the best part about it is you can tailor it to you. You can really make it your own. If you want one page, that's cool. If you want Notion boards, flowcharts, or animated mood boards, even better. Just don't pretend you can build something complex that is fun without writing it down. Game development is a war zone of decisions. You should change the art style, add another weapon type, or is the progression system rewarding? If you're trying to answer those questions in your head, you're doomed. You're not a genius. You're not the best developer that has ever existed. You will not remember that cool idea from last week. You will forget what your jump arc values were. You will definitely forget why you removed the stamina regen at one point. And this is where the game design document comes in. It's not a constraint on any of your development. It's like your external brain where you can write everything down. And this frees you up to be creative inside a framework. It kills feature creep and especially exposes bad ideas before you spend a month building them. And it saves your future self from rage quitting on your own code. We have talked a bunch about why it is important, but what is it actually and what does an actual useful game design document look like? Not some game development Word document from 2004. You want a living, evolving center for your game. So the first thing I would write down is kind of a vision statement. And if you don't know what that is, you've got 5 seconds to explain your game. What do you say? Do you say it's a turn-based strategy game with roguelike elements and that focuses on positioning? I don't think so. And if you said, this is a game about outsmarting chaos, boom, that's the direction. You can build everything around that. Your vision should have an emotional tone plus some gameplay DNA. I think that's more of like a mission statement. It's the soul of the game in one punchy sentence. What makes people buy it. And it's what you can get back to if something feels off. Does this new inventory system support a core vision? If not, cut it. The next thing you should write down is the core gameplay loop. This is your heartbeat. What does the player do over and over and over again? And why is that even fun? For example, in Dead Cells, it's explore, kill, collect cells, upgrade, die, and repeat. In Loop Hero, it's auto-run, build deck, optimize loop, restart. This should be the smallest repeatable unit of engagement. If you can't write this down, you don't have a game. You have ideas in a blender. Though it's a very short part of the game design document, this is really important, so spend some extra time pouring some effort into it. And the next thing you should write down is mechanics. They should be clear, testable, and scoped. So break it down. Movement, walk, dash, climb. Dashing has a cooldown. Climbing uses stamina. You have another mechanic, combat. For example, melee with combo chains that are ranged with reload. Blocking uses stamina or upgrades, passive tree, active skills, temporary buffs. The more you define early, the less you need to reinvent later. And if you say, I will figure it out later, that's not a strategy. That's called gambling. But let's go into another direction. Let's talk vibes. And no, pixel art is not a vibe for this. What kind of palette are you using? What are the animation? What is the soundscape? Is it clunky and snappy? Maybe like Downwell or dreamy and soft like GIRS. Use visual references like mood boards, audio samples, fonts, and UI mockups. A lot of this you can find on other platforms like Instagram or Pinterest. Just find some general ideas that you can use. This isn't just for your artist, it's for you, so you don't make something janky and inconsistent and call it stylistic. And another big part of this is narrative or your general world. Even if your game has no dialogue, it has a tone, a world. What is the lore? What are the themes? Even a game like Geometry Dash has a mood, rhythm, pacing, and personality. Write that down. It will guide your menus, your transitions, your dev screens. Cohesion makes games feel good. Also, let's get technical. Milestones, sprints, tasks, bugs, not glamorous, but this is where our games live and die. You should map this out into a few different phases. The prototype phase, for example, which can last a month. A vertical slice, 2 months, playtesting and feedback, ongoing, and content lock date, marketing, and store prep. These are all phases, and you should map them out. This is what stops you from working endlessly on just one more feature. And even if you're solo, you should split your hats. Game designer, programmer, artist, marketer, QA, and when you write this all out, you will realize how many jobs you're actually trying to juggle. And maybe you will finally bring someone else on the board. If you do have a team, use the game design document as your Bible. Sync regularly, update it, argue over it, and then ship. And if you're still not sold, let's get real. Hollow Knight had a dense, detailed game design document that laid out the whole world structure, character abilities and bosses, design philosophies, and that is why everything feels handcrafted, because it was on paper first. Stardew Valley didn't come from vibes, it came from spreadsheets, and Eric Barone tracked everything. Daily schedules, weather cycles, crops, the structure is the game. Even games that feel loose, like Baba Is You, are built from tensely structured logic. The weirdness only works because the system underneath is tight. The magic that you're witnessing is all planned out. But if you're saying, but I'm more of a free flow dev, cool, then write that into your process. Make a flexible game design document, use some sticky notes, use index cards, use Notion, use Obsidian, I don't care. Just don't pretend that winging something forever is a real plan. Every hour that you spend right now organizing will save you 10 hours of backtracking later. It's not bureaucracy, it's survival. A game design document is all the difference between I had a cool idea once and I made a game that people actually played. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be finished, it just has to exist. Write your vision down somewhere. Write your mechanics down, describe your loop, track your progress, and update it as you go. This is how you build a game that is even worth finishing. And now, towards the end, tell me your worst game design horror story, or your proudest moment, or your dumbest feature idea that made it all the way into the final build. And if you want to make a game design document from scratch, do it. Or don't, and go back to your procedural dog petting simulator with psychological horror elements. Your call. And if you found this helpful, consider hitting subscribe. It really helps out. And if you want to hang out with other devs trying to figure this out too, come join our Discord. Link is in the description. Remember, games don't come in a flash of genius. They come together in quiet, consistent work. Show up, do the work, and your game will start to show what it can become. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.